Hi, welcome to Fiction Fingers Fairy Channel. Please subscribe to this channel for more interesting stories. And don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you, ! Her manager nodded, a hint of relief evident in his expression. Great, I'll let you know the details later. It's an important opportunity to strengthen our relationship with the client, he explained, his tone conveying the significance of the dinner meeting. Later that evening, Alice arrived at the dinner venue where her manager was already waiting. Hi, Alice. Our client will be a bit late as their flight was delayed, Mr. David informed her as she approached the table. Alice nodded understandingly, taking a seat opposite him. No problem. We can wait. I hope their flight wasn't too turbulent, she replied, trying to lighten the mood with a small smile. Mr. David returned the smile, appreciating Alice's attempt to ease the tension. Let's hope for smooth skies ahead, he replied, gesturing for Alice to relax and make herself comfortable while they waited. After half an hour of waiting, 3 clients finally arrived, 2 women and 1 man. Alice's heart skipped a beat when she laid eyes on the man. His face was all too familiar, a face that had been playing in her thoughts and heart for so long. As Alice struggled to contain her surprise and emotions, Mr. David stood up to greet the clients. Welcome, thank you for joining us. Please have a seat, he said warmly, gesturing for the clients to sit down. Alice tried to compose herself as she exchanged pleasantries with the clients, but her mind was racing with a flurry of conflicting emotions. She couldn't believe that the man she had been trying so hard to forget was sitting right in front of her. Hi, Alice, it's been a while. The man greeted her with a smile, his voice sending a shiver down her spine. Alice forced a polite smile in return, her heart pounding in her chest. Yes, it has, she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. Do you two know each other? Mr. David asked, noticing the subtle tension in the air. We only got to know each other a few months ago, and then suddenly someone disappeared, the male client replied, his tone tinged with a hint of amusement. Alice felt a wave of shock and embarrassment wash over her as she realized the implications of the man's words. She knew that he was referring to her sudden disappearance from his life after their brief encounter months ago. Trying to maintain her composure, Alice forced a tight smile. Yes, it's been quite a while, she replied, her voice tinged with awkwardness. Hi, Alice, I'm Sarah, Andy's cousin. I'm married and have 2 children. Sarah introduced herself, extending her hand with a warm smile. Alice's eyes widened in surprise at the unexpected revelation. Sarah, it's so nice to meet you, she nervously replied, shaking Sarah's hand with a genuine smile. Oh, so this is Alice? A middle-aged woman interjected, joining their conversation. Hi, Alice, I'm Anita, Andy's mother, she introduced herself with a warm smile. Alice's eyes widened in surprise as she registered the woman's identity. Hi, Madam Anita, it's a pleasure to meet you. Mr. David, who had been observing them, could sense the tension in the air. Seeing the slightly awkward atmosphere, he decided to lighten the mood with a joke. It seems like this isn't just an ordinary dinner, it's a reunion of 2 hearts, he quipped, his eyes twinkling mischievously. Sarah and Anita joined in the laughter, appreciating Mr. David's attempt to diffuse the awkwardness of the moment. Indeed, it's like a scene from a romantic comedy, Sarah added, her eyes sparkling with amusement. The dinner proceeded smoothly, with conversation flowing naturally among the group. As the evening drew to a close and the plates were cleared away, Andy approached Alice with a request. Can we talk for a moment? He asked, his voice tinged with seriousness. Alice's heart skipped a beat at Andy's request, her mind racing with anticipation and uncertainty. Of course, Andy, she replied, her voice calm despite the turmoil of emotions swirling within her. They moved to a quieter corner of the restaurant, away from the prying eyes and ears of their companions. With a mixture of nervousness and determination, Andy turned to face Alice, his eyes searching hers for a hint of understanding. I've been meaning to talk to you for a while now, Andy began, his words careful yet filled with sincerity. I know things have been complicated between us, but I can't shake off the feeling that there are things left unsaid. Alice listened intently, her heart pounding in her chest as she waited for Andy to continue. Despite her attempts to move on, the lingering feelings she harbored for him resurfaced with a vengeance, leaving her vulnerable and exposed. I just want to know where we stand, Alice, Andy confessed, his voice wavering slightly with emotion. I miss you, and I can't bear the thought of us drifting apart without addressing the elephant in the room. I like you, Alice, and I am really in love with you. Alice felt a lump form in her throat as she struggled to find the right words to respond. She knew that she couldn't deny the depth of her feelings for Andy, nor could she ignore the complexities of their past. "I love you too, Andy," Alice confessed, her voice barely above a whisper, her heart heavy with emotion. "But you are out of my league. Alice, I think we are meant to be together." Alice's heart skipped a beat as Andy spoke, his words echoing the thoughts she had been trying to suppress. "Our sudden meeting tonight is proof. No matter how far you go, we have been destined to be together. Let's give us a chance." Alice felt a surge of emotion wash over her at Andy's heartfelt plea, his sincerity shining through in his eyes. "Andy, She trailed off, her voice catching in her throat as she struggled to articulate the whirlwind of emotions coursing through her. Andy reached out and gently cupped Alice's face in his hands, his touch sending a jolt of electricity through her veins. "Alice, I love you, and I know deep down you love me too," he said softly, his gaze searching hers for confirmation. Tears welled up in Alice's eyes as she looked into Andy's eyes, seeing the depth of his love and determination reflected back at her. "Andy, I do love you," she admitted, her voice trembling with emotion. "But I'm scared." Andy wiped away a tear from Alice's cheek, his touch gentle and reassuring. "As long as we love each other, Alice," Andy said, his voice filled with unwavering determination. Suddenly, Andy's mother approached Alice with a warm smile. "Alice, Andy has told me about you," she began, her voice gentle yet filled with sincerity. "Although tonight is the first time I've met you as a mother, I can feel that you can make my only son happy. I wish nothing but happiness for my son." Alice's eyes widened in surprise at Anita's heartfelt words, her heart swelling with gratitude for the woman's acceptance and support. "Thank you, Madam Anita," she replied, her voice tinged with emotion. Anita nodded, her smile widening at Alice's earnest response. "I have no doubt that you will, Alice," she said, her voice filled with conviction. "Just know that you have my blessing and support in whatever lies ahead for you and Andy." As they exchanged smiles, Alice felt a sense of reassurance wash over her, knowing that she had gained not only Andy's love but also the acceptance and approval of his mother. And as she looked towards the future, she knew that with Anita's blessing, their love would only continue to blossom and grow stronger with each passing day. "So, modern Cinderella does exist," Alice's heart whispered. "The end."